無限大な夢の後の何もない世の中じゃそうさ愛しい思いも負けそうになるけど静しかしないイメージだらけ
Hello everyone and welcome to LostinTranslationmon episode 5 because that's the clever and insightful series name that I came up with, which was the only and best thing I could come up with. And this time we read the 5th volume of V-Tamer. I'm May.
I'm Jay.
So, synopsis time. Chapter 29. It starts, and Taichi and Zero are flying towards Holy Angel Castle. Leomon says that Arcadimon is smaller than he imagined, and Neo says that he'll never live to see Arcadimon's fully evolved and full power form. And Nightmon is protecting him, and I just want to say that through this whole volume, I was very nervous for Leomon. Were you also nervous for Leomon?
No, I was hoping he would die.
I was nervous for him.
I love the idea of Leomon's dying. It's really funny.
But it's sad. I like him.
It's really not, though.
A Boltmon shows up and decapitates the Nightmon, which is the first of a large series of quite violent scenes in this whole volume. Boltmon says it's because he's an ultimate and he'll kill Leomon because he's only a perfect level. Leomon is very strong, but it's actually not actually a Leomon, but people call him Leomon. It's Panjamon. And he's very strong because he says that it's because he'll protect the castle with his life. Because the castle protects the light and protects those who would die in the world, and they are the light. And then Panjamon cuts Boltmon in half. It is very gory.
I just never cared. I know you mentioned the gore to me beforehand. I just didn't care.
Okay, it is because Digimon has never really shown that much gore. So the fact that this manga series is so violent, it just seems so different. It's like Dragon Ball, like Dragon Ball Z with all the violence.
I think it's because I got used to it in like the one before, in the volumes before this one. So it didn't stand out to me as a extra special in this one.
Yeah, see, it stood out to me because I grew up with Digimon, and Digimon never had people being decapitated or cut in half.
I should have. It would have made it better.
Because it just wasn't that show. If they died, they would disintegrate into specks.
Start with Davis.
No, that's a human. You can't
Start with Davis.
Venom Vandamon shows up.
That's not weird at all.
And it's great, but he's horrifying. And Neo says in exchange for intelligence, Venom Vandamon has power. So he's stupid, basically.
Yeah, he's super dumb now, but he's really, really strong.
Yeah.
Big strong.
So Leo strikes him, but he gets grabbed by the tentacles. And the baby Digimon are watching and are horrified.
You mean he gets grabbed by the tentacles that come out of his wounds?
Yeah.
That's not weird.
It's terrifying. So seeing the babies hurt causes Leo to have like this rage, and he breaks free, but then he is pretty much murdered by Arcadimon instantly. Leo says a surprise attack is cowardly, and Neo says that it doesn't matter as long as he wins.
Yeah, he's murdered like off to the side by being stabbed in like the side of his chest.
Yeah, by Arcadimon, who was just sitting there the entire time.
Oh yeah, remember the bad guys? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was just fighting the one who looks really strong and evil, not the tiny child level Digimon that's to my side. Holy Angemon sees this and he's like, I will fight.
And he goes like, okay, everyone else evacuate. I'm gonna go. I'll finish this.
Yeah, and it goes all like, he's pretty cool. So chapter 30 starts, and Holy Angemon approaches Neo and says how Neo does not understand the power of the super ultimate, and says that he is being used by Demon. And Neo's like, yeah, so?
Every time he's using you. Yeah, I know. Come on.
Yeah, Neo does not care.
It's so strong every time.
And he's like, well, I have a big, strong Digimon, and I will be undefeated.
And I think he says, because Holy Angemon's like, okay, the super ultimate is going to like destroy it's going to destroy the world, it's going to destroy you, and it's only Demon will benefit. And Neo's like, I'm aware of that. He's not going to evolve into that. I know his other evolution, because I'm smarter than everyone here.
Yeah, and everyone's just like, oh, okay. And that's what I really like, is that a lot of the time we see characters being used by the big bad, and they say, I'm not being used, we're equals. Like, for example, in Atmon, we had Knight, who was very much like, I'm not being used. Mwah!
Yeah, Naito didn't know anything Leviathan didn't tell him.
Yeah, and then we have Neo, who's just like, yeah, I know he's using me.
Well, he's trying.
He's trying to use me. I'm fully aware of this. And I guess in some way, Neo is also using Demon for his power, right?
Obviously.
Yeah, so and we don't often see that. We usually see, oh yeah, the dude by the side of the bad guy is just a pawn and he's going to kill him anyway. But Neo's probably worse than Demon because he's a human.
I mean, arguably. We learn later that he has
a good reason.
somewhat noble motives.
And that's good. I like when they give almost noble motives to completely evil characters.
You like what everyone likes when the bad guy thinks they're correct for good reasons.
Yeah.
Which is one of the problems with every Digimon bad guy that's ever existed. Because what's their motivation? I want to control things. Why? Because power is its own end, and I don't need to tell you because you do what what I was doing if you were in this position. Not really.
See, a lot of the time with Digimon, the bad guys don't really have solid, strong motivations.
They never have solid, strong motivations. Leviathan, maybe?
I feel like Edamon did, and he didn't actually want to kill the kids. He just wanted them out of the way because he wanted to just be the king.
No, but that's the same thing. Why does he want to be the king so bad?
Because he's Elvis.
That's what I'm talking about, is that the idea of a motivation is not you can't just state what the end goal is as the motivation. Why do you want to rule the world? Because I want to rule the world. That's not a reason. Something has to drive you to be obsessed with control.
Okay, Beelzemon had his backstory, which was humans were bad to him.
Which one's Beelzemon?
In Tamers?
Oh, yeah.
Idmon?
But he had no goals. It's not like you could say that motivation had to do with any goals. It was the reason why he was a weirdo.
Yeah. But it was a reason, at least.
I know, but we never actually get a story of why the Dark Masters are friends.
Good point.
When did Piedmon meet, Machine Dramon, and why are they on a team together?
I think it's just because a Pokemon said so.
Sure, but that's meaningless.
I'd like to know, though. I would really like to know.
Honestly, the only one who ever has a motivation is a Pokemon because he really wanted pizza.
Oh my god! And he has hot and cold running water. No, what
That's
I would,
it.
What I would like is maybe like a 10-episode series of the adventures of the original Chosen Children.
No, the adventures of the original Dark Masters hanging out, having a good time.
Until these meddling kids come along.
No, legitimately, I think it would be really interesting if the Dark Masters were they were basically street punks, and then the kids came along and annoyed them, and they started hating humans because they thought they were being mistreated, and it was all Daigo's fault, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, poor Daigo, he just wants a donut. So
You still want it now?
Leo says that he doesn't know about any of this alternate evolution that Neo is speaking of, and Holy Angemon does. And Holy Angemon says that he won't give him the chance to do that because he wants to suck Arcadimon into another dimension.
Which he just does.
Yeah, but then Arcadimon escapes because he's mega evil.
It's really cool too.
Then Holy Angemon says, look, I have no choice. And he removes his seal and becomes Seraphimon. And he explains that he put this seal on because he can always evolve to this form, but it just upsets everyone. It disturbs everyone to be so
really
powerful.
Funny. It just makes everyone uncomfortable, okay? So I don't do it.
Which I like, because I think we always have said, hey, if that Digimon can evolve at all times, why aren't they?
Exactly.
And he's giving a reason of, well, because it upsets everyone. Like, okay, I believe that reason.
Oh no. In a universe where you're not really meant to evolve backwards, it's weird that when he loses the fight, he evolves backwards.
Yeah, no, that's fair, but I think it's because he probably put the seal back on.
Oh, boo.
I like that. I like that.
The seal's pretty funny.
And yeah, you're right. In this series, besides Omegamon later on in a few chapters from now, we don't see any Digimon that can have multiple evolutions or change evolutions at any time. Once they've evolved, they're at that point. But he has Metal Garurumon and War Greymon. But I think it's because that's Jogres, so that's different. And we've seen Jogres have that. Seraphimon attacks again, and Arcadimon survives and evolves to adult. Neo tells him to eat Seraphimon, and he does, and it's terrifying.
Nom, nom.
And he survives somehow, which is strange to me, but alright.
Doesn't he survive because Zero shows up?
Yeah, well, Zero and Taichi heal him, but I feel like he should be dead at this point.
No, he's not fully eaten yet when Zero and Tai show up.
Okay.
And he comes through and he's like, you stop that, and just punches Venom Vandemon in the face real strong.
So Venom Vandemon attacks Leo, and Neo says that he wants the babies to watch everyone die. And this is when Zero and Taichi show up, 10 minutes late with Starbucks.
It's fine. They were hungry.
So chapter 31 starts, and Zero asks Taichi if Leo and Holy Angemon will be okay. Taichi says they need a full-blown healing, and they need to heal them basically immediately. So that's good, but I love how, grumpy Zero is like, no, they killed my friends!
Or I will get you.
Venom Vandemon wants a healing too, and it's kind of adorable. He's like, a healing? Can I get a healing? It's really funny.
Someone knocked my head off. It's really rude.
Yeah, and it turns out that his real body was the lower half, and his crotch vampire
We would
is his
never
real
have
head.
seen that one coming. It's not like we saw that in the show or anything.
No, but we never, like, they never said that
They
that
never
was...
took his head off, but like we knew it was a separate being.
Oh, I always thought that they were both equally, like, the head. Like, I
Nah.
always thought that the top one was still, like, the head.
I never
This one
thought that.
shows that, oh no, the consciousness is actually the crotch vampire.
And then Zero just punches him in the chest until he just dies.
Yeah.
In one hit.
Taichi says how he won't let Neo get away with this, and Neo says that he's accomplished exactly what he wanted. He let Arcadimon feed. And Neo says that with Seraphimon's energy, Arcadimon can evolve again, and then he evolves to perfect. So, alternatively, the reason that Seraphimon de-evolves is that he no longer has the ability to become Seraphimon.
Also possible?
Because, as Neo just said, yeah, he fed. Like, he actually did eat something. He ate Seraphimon. And now there's no
Nom, nom, nom.
Seraphimon. There's just Holy Angelmon.
It's a possibility.
Unless we ever see, and I can't remember this, unless we see Holy Angelmon evolve to Seraphimon again, I think we can guess that that's what's up. But if he evolves again, I don't know. So Zero tells him to shut up, and he punches through Venom Vandemon's head. And this is how Venom Vandemon dies. Neo and Arcadimon leave and tell Taichi to come to Demon's castle, but they'll have to defeat Alias 3 first because there's one left, and the third one is the strongest. Zero attacks the remaining members of the army because he's very, very angry. And then he says, look, we have to follow Neo. We have to go right now. Taichi, let's go. And Taichi says, no. Leo and Holy Angelmon are going to die. We have to heal them.
We got stuff to do.
So which is good because they give... they need to give them time to have Hideto's entrance and, introduction about that and
let Neo get away.
and let Rei be kidnapped. So they actually give a reason for why they're not leaving straight away. They're going to heal Leo and Holy Angelmon.
Yes.
It's good. I like when they give reasons.
Wow, you have a low standard.
Look, I have grown up with watching all of Digimon, and there are a lot of issues throughout Digimon. So when Digimon does something right, I will praise it.
You're right, Digimon's really bad, but it doesn't deserve praise for basic, like... It's like someone making a cake, and you're like, the first thing you say is, wow, it's edible. That's amazing.
Look, we can both agree on this manga being probably one of the best things that Digimon's ever produced.
I agree.
It's this manga, Atmon, and Try.
Yeah.
And is there anything else? I think that's Tamers is fine.
No, the rest of Digimon sucks.
Tamers is fine.
All of Digimon is
Savers
bad.
is okay. I'm so far Savers is great.
All of Digimon is really bad.
We see a boy called Hideto, and he's looking for something called a Digimental. And there's some Digimon that work for Neo who are talking about how Hideto wants to create his own monster, and it might not follow orders. No, Neo wants to create his own monsters, but Hideto might not follow orders. There we are. There, I climbed the whole mountain. I spoke with my terrible voice.
Amazing.
Are you hearing my voice start to deteriorate again? This is awful. I hate my voice.
Continue.
I hope this isn't permanent. This is getting kind of worried.
That'll be fine.
Holy Angemon is healed and tells Taichi that Neo is looking for the Digimental. Leo is alive also somehow, and it's surprising. And he's acting really tough, and he's saying, I'm more tough, and then Taichi punches him.
Isn't Tai surprised by the word Digimental? He's never heard of it before.
I think so, but I think he's also like...
He's heard of it from Davis.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't think that was... But that was an omake. Anything that ends with a 0.5 isn't canon.
Yeah, okay.
He never actually met Davis.
That sucks, because that Davis was the best representation of Davis there ever was.
Yeah, because it was clearly making fun of him.
Uh-huh, I like that. That was fun.
Garbo and Ray are talking, and Ray asks if Neo really is that bad. Garbo says that he's the devil. Ray says she wants to go to Demon's castle, and then her pendant's glowing. Aigamon says that something's
At
approaching.
this point I go, is that the Digimental? Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Aigamon says that something is approaching that is stronger than Zero, and we see that it's Hideto riding Omegamon.
And here we get one of the things that I didn't like.
What, really?
It's always, and it's subtle, right? Because it's not really V-Tamer's fault. It's just a recurring theme through all of Digimon that I can't stand.
What?
That's a Royal Knight. They're meant to be good guys. They're the best of all the good Digimon.
They don't say Royal
Why
Knight,
is this
though.
one evil?
They don't say Royal Knight.
Yeah, but they're like, oh, Omnimon, he's meant to be a good guy. Why is he evil?
Yeah.
It's every time. Nothing in Digimon has ever shown you someone who's a Royal Knight or meant to be a Royal Knight, whatever, being good. Yeah, I know there's Dukemon and there's Omegamon and stuff, but they're never called Royal Knights in any way, or even referred to that way, or referred to any sort of history about them. Every time a Royal Knight shows up that isn't one of the kids' Digimon, it's they used to be good and now they're evil, but we're not going to tell you anything about that history.
Look, I actually think that it shows that Hideto isn't really evil.
Yeah, I think think that's what that is
And
implying.
he's a good guy. He's a nice person, and he cares about his Digimon. He loves his Digimon, and because of that, his Digimon obey him. But it's also because even in the few chapters from now, when he's fighting Taichi again, it's because he's doing what he can for his friend who is paralyzed, and he wants her to walk again. So even then, it's...
Yeah, he's surprised to see her walking. And she's like, I guess I can. That's cool.
Like, I can now. And we don't know anything, so that's kind of like a twist. But we'll get to that.
So he's like, come with me. And she's like, yeah, all right.
Well, this is in chapter 32. And yeah, we have the scene of Igamon saying, hey, how can you be an enemy? You're a good guy. You're a very good Digimon. So we find out that Hideto and Rei kind of know each other. And then we find out that Rei's pendant is the Digimental. And she wants to go to Demon's castle. And Omegamon's power freezes Igamon and Garbo just because they're just apparently just too powerful. Zero and Taichi return, and what I'm noticing is a theme is in this volume is that Taichi and Zero keep on showing up just after something bad has happened, right?
Like, that's his deal. That's the deal of a hero, is if you were there to prevent it in the first place, he would have prevented it.
So Garbo explains what happened, and Zero and Taichi fly after Hideto. Hideto scans Zero and says that he's powerful, which is to be expected for an ancient Digimon, and he has something called an overwrite, which is something, but it's something really strong, but it's also a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and when they do explain it, I don't think it's very interesting.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Zero and Taichi fly past and hide behind the cape when they're fighting, which I think is pretty clever, and Zero punches him, but it does nothing.
No, it appears to do nothing.
Rei yells at them and tells them to stop, and then she says, look, Neo is my brother. And then there's a shock, twist, and Taichi wants to go to Demon's castle after her. Chapter 33, Rei and Hideto are at Demon's castle.
No, they're flying on the way back, and he says, oh man, that Zero's stronger than he looks, isn't he? And you cut, there's a little frame of like a big shattering of the armor right below Omnimon's chest.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, the punch actually did do something.
I like that. And it's also like these small little things, but I'm not sure if the battle damage stays. I guess.
Oh, it doesn't, for sure.
To be fair, no, they do dejogress though.
Yeah.
So that is a reason for why it does.
It doesn't say, but it tells you that Zero is not powerless. They just no-sold the hit, even though it did hurt.
Yeah, because he's like, he's a knight. He can be strong and like kind of like look brave and stuff.
Knight.
He is royally that knight. Rei sees Neo and she says that she missed him, and
Before she does that, she gets out. She goes, also, I can jump now.
Yeah, and he's just saying
she's all adorable and happy.
She's saying legs. He just says legs. Legs.
Legs, girls, legs.
So
Drink.
and she says, look, I heard that you're trying to kill Digimon. You can't kill Digimon. They're really great. You can't kill them. And Neo says, I don't want to kill them. I want to rebuild the world. Then back to where Taichi is, Garbo was wearing Taichi's goggles and cape, and it's so cute, and he's mimicking them like, yes, we must go to Demon's castle and get revenge on Omegamon. And then he says, so why have we decided to eat? And Taichi's like, we were hungry.
We wanted, and Gabo, you're such a good cook. Don't compliment me now. I see what you're doing. Was it not? No. Then it says like Taichi wrecked or something. I sent you a picture of this. Or Taichi has crashed.
Yeah.
No, it was like Taichi rejected.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh.
Back to Hideto. Hideto has a flashback to when Neo transferred to his school and challenged him to Digimon because he heard that he was the best in the new school. Hideto lost with both his Digimon, his War Greymon, and his Metal Garurumon. Neo tells Hideto to delete his Digimon.
Because to him, that's not an insult. That's good advice.
He's just saying, look, they lost, so delete them and try again.
It's funny how that we've got enough context with him to know it's not entirely out of malice he would say that.
Yeah, it's just like, I think he legitimately thinks that is good advice because he's done it every time.
Sounds like you should start again. All right. Like, you could say it in a better way. You know, you haven't built this house quite perfectly, so you got to tear it down and begin with the foundation. That's not what he says.
Then there's part of a flashback that's a bit cute. Hideto goes all the way to Neo's house and he's like, oh, I wasn't thinking. I just wanted to ask him things. Oh no, should I go?
Oh, but his house is too amazing and awesome and he's probably super rich and this is embarrassing.
Yeah, and he realizes what he's doing. Then Rei saw him and invites him in, and he says, "Look, I've never met a friend of Neo's before."
He has friends? No, you should definitely come in.
And then Neo says this bit that's almost cute, and he says, "He's not a friend. We're tamers. He's more like a rival."
I guess.
But I guess he'd be an okay rival to have.
He can stay.
Yeah, it's this really cute moment where we see like this almost human side of Neo that we've never seen before, because he probably still craves social interaction because he is a human still.
He has friends. We know he has friends.
So we find out they used to hang out a lot, and then one morning, Hideto's Digimon had jog rest. And this is where I draw issue with this volume.
What?
So he has the pendulum toys, and you jog rest them by connecting them and hitting jog rest.
I've stopped paying attention.
Okay, me too. No. So you can't just wake up one morning and they have jog rest. Maybe with the Digimon 20th anniversary ones, they jog rest after a lot of battles together. Yeah.
You also can't actually ride an Omnimon.
Yeah, well, you can in the
You
digital
can't
world.
actually go to the digital world.
No, I'm just saying.
It's a fantasy story.
You have to make them jog rest. It's just weird. I don't know.
There was an interview with the guy who plays Sam Tarly in Game of Thrones, and they asked, "Hey man, you haven't been eating very much and you've been running around a lot. Why are you still fat?" And he goes, "Why do you care if I'm still fat? There are dragons in this show."
Good point. So we find out that Hideto thinks that maybe he could beat Neo now. So then we see that they're walking along and Hideto's really happy, and then Ray's hit by a van.
Well, he calls over to them and goes, "Hey, I think I can beat you now." And out of excitement, Ray goes, "Oh, that's cool. I'll just run across the road." And then a truck runs a red light.
No, yeah, she's running. It's got the crossing signal, so she's not doing anything wrong.
She crosses back over. No, she's in the right. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's no one's fault, but you could totally see why someone would think it's their fault.
Yeah. Though it is kind of strange that Neo doesn't hate Hideto.
Well, because Hideto knows that guy ran a red light. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
But you would understand if Hideto felt guilty.
Yeah, he probably does. He probably feels, and that's probably why he's on the side of evil, because he feels guilty and he wants to obey Ray.
I think he's just friends with Neo.
So Ray was hit by a van and now she's paralyzed, and Ray's basically gone a little bit mad.
And it becomes evident that the reason he wants to take over the digital world, because if everything's digital and he controls it, he can rewrite the world so that his sister's legs work again.
Well, we already find out that she can walk in this world anyway.
Yeah, but he says, when the moment he sees it, he goes, "Nah, but it's not permanent though."
Yeah.
But if I control all worlds...
I think that they said that it's because of the Digimental, right?
I didn't catch that. I just thought it was because of it was the digital world.
I might be wrong. I thought it was because of the Digimental.
But yeah, anyway, essentially his entire motivation is based on making his sister not paralyzed anymore. Which is better
legitimate.
than most motivations.
Yeah, it's like you can actually see why he's like this.
Also, I want it noted that when Hideto is talking to Ray and talking to Neo, he has normal font speech. He has the same font speech as Tai has all the time.
Yeah, but I still think that we actually have to look at the
Let's do
original
that now.
copy. Yeah, well, not right this second.
Go get it.
Okay, well, you have to continue talking about Digimon, though.
I don't. We can edit whatever.
No, you continue talking about Digimon.
No, it'll cut silence. So if I just don't say anything, you don't have to edit anything at all.
Okay. This is the most gorilla of recordings. I have now given Jay Volume 5 of the V-Tamer manga because I own it physically and officially. So Jay is now looking through to see if he can actually see... There's a text thing, because I didn't notice it, because I was reading it and not looking at the font.
Hold on a second. But where's all the backstory? Oh no, I'm reading it the wrong way.
You're reading it the white person way?
Uh-huh. Okay,
So Jay's just flipping through. So yeah, I did not notice this, but Jay did. But Jay read the scanlations.
It might just be the scanlation.
Because he's naughty.
What? How else am I going to read it?
Just learn Japanese. Jay's just flipping through pages at the moment still. It's very interesting to watch.
It's hard to tell.
Because it's in Japanese. Let me have a look.
Hold on. What's important is if Neo has it. Because Neo always talks this way. Because he's big evil.
Ah, the sound of flipping pages. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It was probably just the scanlation.
LostinTranslationmon.
Yeah,
we're illegal.
I think it's the scanlation. Oh well, it was really cool to me. No one else gets to feel this.
But I own the book.
Yeah, well, the book's wrong.
No, the book's... What?
Book's wrong.
So in chapter 34, Hideto flies Omegamon to challenge Taichi and Zero because he wants Ray to walk again too, because he kind of feels guilty. And also, I guess you could say that maybe Hideto's interested in Ray romantically, but I don't think that's the case. I think they're just really good friends.
I mean, I can see how people would think that, because, when you put a guy and a girl character together in shows like this, the shipping will begin.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. But I think they're just really good friends, because it's never actually said, oh, and I loved her. It just sort of said, oh yeah, the three of us hung out and it was really fun. So Garbo wonders why Omegamon is fighting for him, and Hideto says because they're on the side of good. And Garbo's like, oh, does that mean we're on the side of evil? Zero gets mad and uses the power of anger, because that is his power basically, and then they explain it, which is really great.
They explain that there's a thing called overwrite, which is basically every time a Digimon changes state in any way, it changes their data to an extent. And ancient type Digimon, it happens faster, but like CDs and DVDs, the more you overwrite onto them, the more decayed the data is going to get. So even though when Zero gets angry, he gets more powerful because everything's moving faster, it also means that he has a short lifespan.
And we also find out that Veedramon isn't like just a one-off Digimon. It is just very, very rare because it's dying because they all have the override ability and they just use it a lot.
Yeah, they generally just don't make it.
Yeah, so Hideto explains that Zero is basically at the end of his lifespan and probably won't evolve again, and Veedramon are almost extinct. Hideto tells Taichi and Zero to leave because they don't have to die here, and if they fight, it'll be even closer to the end of his lifespan. And Zero and Taichi say that they'll fight anyway. Zero punches Omegamon and it damages him, and that's the end of that volume, and it's really sad because it's such a cliffhanger.
I saw in the list of chapters on the place I've been reading them is that the next 3 chapters of this fight.
Wow, I hope it's good. I hope it's just not just I punch you, you punch me. I punch you, you punch me.
You'd hope. So it's because it's literally like Zero versus Omnimon is the name of the next 3 chapters.
Okay.
So get ready.
What are your thoughts on this volume?
I think that it did a really good job setting up why Neo is doing what he's doing and also sort of what his plan is. I'm not sure he should have said that stuff out loud because who knows who would tell Demon that, oh yeah, the guy you're trusting is going to turn on you. And I think the fact that they're sort of sandbagging, not letting us see a lot of Demon means that Demon probably is playing one step ahead.
Yeah.
At the same, and otherwise, like, I like the twist with Ray. It's not bad. I like Hideto as it's probably not as interesting as the one with the mask.
Yeah, no, I think that Sigma was my favorite, but I really do kind of like Hideto. I feel like the thing about the Alias 3, except for Mari, which we didn't get really much information about, is that they seem to legitimately care about their Digimon and seem to actually have a relationship with their Digimon.
Yeah, especially in this case.
Yeah, and we even see, and he has names for his Metal Garurumon and Wargreymon. It's so cute. Sure, it's just like the first couple of sounds from their name, but it's cute. It's Warg and Metal Garu or something. Metal Gru?
It could be.
I don't know, it's so cute, and I love how they have a relationship with their Digimon. It is so cute. I also, as I mentioned before, I noticed a lot of gore in this volume because I'm used to Digimon not having a lot of gore, but there it was everywhere. Like Digimon being cut in half, Digimon being decapitated. When have we ever seen that in Digimon ever? It's just interesting, and that's probably why I'm reacting so strongly to it, and Jay isn't, because Jay's not used to it. He probably prefers it like this. I'm just kind of like, this is weird. This feels weird as a series of Digimon with extreme violence that you'd see in every other shonen anime.
I just don't care. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. In fact, it gives the stakes. It gives the show stakes that it wouldn't otherwise have, which most Digimon doesn't have. And it's like that, and that's where it really devolves into I punch you, you punch me, because no one takes battle damage.
Yeah, and in the series, Digimon are always reborn as Digitama pretty much immediately. It's not actually said what happens if you die in this series. I think you just die.
Yeah.
Which is always like the very PG of one of, oh yeah, you'll get reborn, you'll respawn, it's fine. And that was very, PG rated, very innocent fighting. It's cartoon violence, but there's no real stakes. In this manga, it seems like there's actually something at risk, your life. And to find out that Veedramon may die, like to find that Zero, the main character's Digimon, is basically the end of his lifespan, probably won't evolve again, is going to die like the rest of his species. That is dark.
I mean, it'll be fine. I'm pretty sure he has main character immunity like everyone does.
Yeah, probably. But the fact that they're introducing that concept of the main character's Digimon could die, it just feels like something that hasn't been done in Digimon before, and that's interesting. I like it. What are your favourite bits of this?
Didn't you already ask me this question?
No, I had your opinions and thoughts.
Okay, because I said I like the fact that they gave Neo his backstory, and I kind of like that we've built up Zero to be so strong that, like, One Punch Man does this a lot, right? Because One Punch Man has really established its main character, who is One Punch Man.
Yeah, fair enough.
That when he enters a fight, he will win the fight, because he wins in one punch every time.
Yeah.
So the story structure has to move away from the bad guy threatening him and having a confrontation there, to other heroes fighting the bad guy and losing and struggle there. And then when the actual hero shows up, you go, yeah, like you feel it, and you really feel it when Zero shows up and he punches Venom Venom on the face. And
yeah,
you're
he's
like,
a lot stronger than all the other Digimon.
Yeah, he's especially cool. He's Saikyo no hero.
But I also kind of like the fact that they've given a reason of why he's so strong. He doesn't just have main character power-up syndrome.
He kind of does.
But he has, like, they've written in a reason for him to have this main character power. Oh, you wouldn't like him when he's angry because he might die.
Well, I mean...
What?
That was pretty funny.
Wow, that was a delayed reaction to what I just said.
It was, but whatever. Like there is a. I always feel like everything gives you a reason why everything's so powerful. Like Harry Potter is so powerful because it's connected to the ultimate evil wizard. Like they give you a reason. That's why they're the main character.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Do you have any other thoughts?
I'm hungry.
That's not a thought about Digimon though.
It's a thought for me.
Well, it's a thought about Digimon in the way that Agumon's always hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Reacts only.
So next time we will be reading the next chapter of V-Tamer, which is volume 6. So stay tuned for that in a month. You can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, or you can comment on this episode or message us on SoundCloud. You can follow us on @TranslationMon on Twitter, and you can find us on LostinTranslationmon on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We have a discussion thread on With the Will and a Reddit thread in the Digimon subreddit. We'd appreciate if you were to review us on iTunes, Stitcher, or whatever podcast listening service you use, if they allow you to leave reviews, whatever, just like me. And we have a website, yay, where you can check out the schedule for upcoming episodes, because this is a monthly show. And I had a few people say, hey, how come it takes you so long to release your manga episodes? And I'm like, well, it's a monthly series, for one thing, so it takes us exactly a month.
It's because we're busy.
No, we release it every 4 weeks, so we're not being slow or fast with it. This is just the release schedule that we have. We have 2 weekly other seasons and 2 monthly series, so no.
Can't wait for Digimon to be over.
Yeah, and then we'll do Sailor Moon.
Can't wait for it to be over.
Then we'll do Dragon Ball. That'd be good. You can donate to our Patreon, which is linked in the description, from as little as $1 a month. And that gets you access to our listener Slack chat group. But there are higher levels with more rewards, such as notes, early episodes, and more.
And thank you to our current Patreon supporters, Sam Krieger, who has a podcast called The Moncast, which talks about Pokemon and Digimon, Stevie, who is Stevie Padmon on Tumblr and is currently taking commissions, Wu Qinglong, who you can find at twitch.tv/Wu Qinglong, Metal Mamemon, Joe, Anime Guy, who is Anime Guy Kurosaki and the number 1 on YouTube, Penguin Mage, Chuckmon, Ishwal Bamba, Hiro Olado, who is at Hiro Olado on Twitter, Jason Morosky, Ryuchi, who's Frost Miragic on Archive of Our Own, Stephen Reeves, who's at Wildwing64 on Twitter, Kaitawashi, Mac, Noam, Riku, Chisai, who you can follow at Chisai236 on Tumblr, Corey, Kyle, The Lady Bugman, whose anime blog you can find at bagubaragudo.wordpress.com, Small Wolfie, who is on Tapastic as Small Wolfie and has a comic there called Eden of Melancholy, Tom, Glitchgoat, Azrael McCool, Nicholas, Gene Hackmon, Matthew, Anthony, who is Anto Classic on Twitter, Lismet, who is Elecmon on Tumblr, Sithobi, Ellie Vorg, who is Ellie Vorg on Tumblr, Sporky McForkenspoon, Megan, and Kyliak.
You can also make a one-off donation on our PayPal, which can be found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/airdramon. Make sure that's not a podcast. Oh no, this is happening. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.